Paul, look, we heard Danny Mills just before the break saying he doesn't quite know what the punishments could be for the English clubs, but that's clearly where the focus is now here in England. Where are we up to?
Yeah, punishments. Premier League are considering what action to take. I think it's fair to say there will be sanctions. No decision has been taken yet. I think it's fair to point that out, and it's important to point that out, but it does feel like there will be sanctions, and the question will then turn to what type of sanction for these big six, not just clubs, the people at the top of these clubs, the people who were behind the scenes plotting this. Points deductions have been talked about, but this appears unlikely because the feeling is it will punish fans and players, of course, not involved in all of this. So what we will possibly see is a removal of key figures from the big six clubs, from committees or working groups within the Premier League. Richard Masters, the Premier League chief executive, has requested those key figures from the big six clubs relinquish their roles. Now, these are powerful people, influential people. These types of committees and working groups help shape decision making across various areas. So, for example, Bruce Buck at Chelsea chairs the audit committee. Vinay Venkatesham is on the club's strategic advisory group, as is Ferran Soriano at Manchester City. Ed Woodward, we know, is leaving Manchester United. He sits on the club broadcast advisory group, again, as does Tom Werner at Liverpool. So these guys clearly have a lot of influence in the decisions that are taken on these committees and working groups, and that might just be a key area where the Premier League and the other 14 clubs, clearly not happy with developments this week, will want to punish them. Yeah,
OK, so remove key clubs from the decision-making process, at least temporarily. Recriminations across Europe as well, although perhaps not quite as strongly felt as in this country. I know there's a meeting taking place amongst La Liga clubs, as there has been here in the Premier League. The league's president, Javier Tebas, he's been critical, hasn't he, of Florentino Perez and the European Super League. What do we think could come out of that meeting?
Well, I think this could be potentially one to get the popcorn out again, as this week has just been like that, and it will potentially follow that theme, because it'll be interesting. We'll be watching out for the tone taken by Tebas. Will he forgive and forget, or will there be more serious consequences for the Spanish clubs involved in this? The key difference, of course, between the English clubs and the Spanish clubs is that two of the three Spanish clubs, Real Madrid and Barcelona, are yet to announce a withdrawal from this. UEFA President Alexander Ceferin came out fighting early in the week when this was all announced, but he then extended an olive branch to the Premier League clubs once they withdrew. So we wait to see what tone is taken from Tebas towards Real Madrid in particular, because obviously Perez has been vocal. He will not give up, as he said in an interview last night. He will not give up on the idea of some form of Super League. And that's the feeling we're getting. There might just be a tough tone towards Real Madrid, probably more so than Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, but it's one to keep an eye on. But as long as Perez continues to support Real Madrid in any form of breakaway league, we are all waiting, just to throw the cat amongst the pigeons, for UEFA to clarify whether that has any impact on next week's Champions League semi-final, Chelsea against Real Madrid. Don't forget, European football's governing body said on Monday they were exploring all possible legal avenues to kick players out of players with Super League clubs out of UEFA competition as soon as possible. So it's fair to say La Liga would back UEFA on this matter, whatever they decide. So we're waiting some UEFA clarification on that. But yeah, this has been growing for some time in Spain, and we will wait and see. Interesting meeting ahead.